I have some bad news to tell you. The bad news is this: whatever prompts you're gonna use to humanize AI, at the end, you'll still get AI. It's a sad truth of trying to bypass AI detectors. Thankfully, there's a solution, and it's called editing techniques. In this video especially, I'm gonna share with you 4 powerful editing techniques to minimize the chances of being flagged as AI. Watch, listen, and apply closely these techniques I'm gonna use live to humanize an AI text. Ready? Let's go. The first editing technique enables you already to clean a big part of the AI patterns in AI text. And this technique is drawn from the literature, the research, especially around the stylistic features of LLM writing, especially in grammar and rhetorical style. LLMs are inclined to use certain kind of grammar and style and formulations more than what a human writer will use. They're especially trained to be very useful and also to fit a very specific tone. And so that makes them favor some types of AI structures. And these are the ones, especially in this paper, do LM writes like humans. There you can see here, so a comparison between the features, the grammar features used by both GPT-4o Llama and both by the human sample rate, which is symbolized with this line. And so you can see which kind of feature are overused by LMs. So like, for example, a present participle clauses, which is very used by LMs compared to human, and which is underused compared to humans, so like adverbs and agentless passives. And so what we want to do in this third wave of editing to humanize your AI text is actually to remove all these AI stylistic features. I already made a good list of them. I'm gonna send you a link on the video to an article with all of these stylistic features. Then you're gonna have to remove with some examples also. So you have like things like tricolons, normalizations, sentence relatives, all M dashes, of course, not only but also all of these things. And we're gonna try to remove them from a ChatGPT generated text. I've just generated it right away here with the ChatGPT 5.5 instant model. As you can see, all of these AI structures and patterns that you can see usually in a text generated by LLM. So for example, you have the M dash, of course, here. You have the tricolons, so a pattern of free, flexibility, affordability, ease of use, advanced sensors, false limiting technology, intelligent software. That also makes free. You also have the participle clause, so you have this thing, and then you have allowing employees, so participle present here. And we're gonna try to remove already all of these patterns and see how it works to bypass AI detectors already. All right, so already I'm gonna remove the M dash. I'm gonna put this instead. I'm also gonna remove the big normalization here with like very abstract nouns like flexibility, affordability, ease of use, which is other very typical of AI. I'm just gonna change it with like, for example, just being flexible. So using adjectives instead. Also gonna remove this big normalization here, vital component of the modern workplace. I'm just gonna say are being increasingly implemented in business processes. Same here, I'm gonna remove normalization here. I'm gonna use verbs as businesses look to increase productivity and efficiency. I'm gonna also remove this ranging from manufacturing to, we're just gonna keep an example, like they're transforming industries like manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, and agriculture. I'm also gonna do the same in the other sections. Remove this tricolon here, usually very large, and they are programmed. Also gonna remove this balance expression. It's not, but it is. We're just gonna keep it is not to replace human worker entirely. Far from it, cobots actually handle repetitive, physically demanding task. This participle present also is here, so allowing employees. So we can also remove that, which allow employees. Also a tricolon again here, so a lot of tricolons in this. The while-based structure to contrast an idea also is very well used. We're gonna replace that too, as well as reduce. And I did the same in the other sections, changing so some of these AI typical structures. That's already what we get in the AI detectors with this first pass on the text. So if I put the original version of the text on ZeroGPT, which is like a basic AI detector, I get already, as you can see, still 100% AI. So ZeroGPT can detect GPT 5.5, as you can see. When I put the editing version of the text on ZeroGPT, I get now 93% of AI, which is a bit sad. Usually these edit already do a good job at reducing the bypass rate, or increasing the bypass rate. But its first wave of editing is more for human readers, so they not become suspicious of the text as being AI, because now people are used to flagging this kind of formulation as AI, especially the not only but also the tricolons. Also a big abstract normalization is also a big red flag nowadays. So yeah, all of this, if you remove them, at least already for a human reader, you won't create suspicion that your text is AI. But you'll see the second wave is way more impactful in terms of the bypass rate. The second type of editing technique is now trying to address the perplexity of the text. So what is a perplexity? It is actually the probability distribution of each word in your text. That means especially the likelihood of each of the words used by the LM. The more predictable a phrase is in the eye of AI detector, the more chance you're gonna be detected as AI. And usually human writing is more unpredictable in the choices of word used. And so the more surprising and unpredictable wording you're gonna use, for example, in this paper, with a paraphraser that's gonna change some of the words to make them less probable, you're gonna have a phrase that is so more original, and that will more likely bypass AI detectors. And that's what we're gonna do more or less here. We're gonna try to rephrase now the vocabulary used usually by AI. We're gonna change some of the words, so we change the overall probability distribution of the text, which is a big factor still used by AI detectors to discriminate between AI and human text. All right, so yeah, basically just remove a word that is very much used by AI. We're gonna use have appeared as, we're gonna remove innovation, we're gonna put invention. We want to use operate, we're gonna use work. Somebody using basic wording also would be better, because LMs love also to use sophisticated words. Cages, we're gonna put installation. We want to put design, we're gonna make made to work alongside people. Shared workspaces, not affordable, but good value for money. Of course, not transforming, as a very used word. We're gonna put something else. Disrupting, let's say that. Companies. We'll do the same in the other sections. Automated system. Rather than perform, we're gonna use do. Respond, we put react. Rather than build, we're gonna put manufacture. So a more concrete also words, better. Collaborators, display, demanding. Task, we're gonna put application, industrial applications. On automotive, we're gonna put car manufacturing, and just the rest of the text, I'm gonna do the same. Let's see now what we get from this text of this editing. But I'm already sure that with all this change in the perplexity of the text, we're gonna have some good result. And now when I put a new version, as you can see now on ZeroGPT, now we have 50% AI-ish and also more or less a human now. So we're getting somewhere here. It's a good result. We still have two types, very powerful types, to improve the bypass rate of the text. Usually what I want to do is use all four techniques at the same time, so you also save time. But for just educational purposes, I'm showing you all these four types step by step. The first editing technique in this video is now about burstiness. Again, a complicated word, but that describes something that is actually very simple, which is simply the length of the sentences, the number of words per sentence, and also the number of sentences of a paragraph. So it's more or less the variation of the structure. And usually LM will always have some kind of patterns in their structure. So for example, here I have more or less the same number of sentences per section here. 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. So there's just the pattern. And you want to break that in the text. We say of human writer that have better burstness because in a way, their style is just bursting everywhere. Like you see here in the sentence, so you have a look of comma and just at the end, you just say, research say. Whereas the LLM will be more cautious and we'll just add a point here and just to say, here are some tips on staying safe. Here you have a more comma, just a small variation in the sentence. It's more a bit literary. You can even compare the sentence length distribution with this graph on this research paper. And as you can see, like the human sentence length distribution, so you have way more varied length of sentences. You have short sentences, long sentences. It's more or less the same. And then, yeah, you have less frequent long sentences. But LLMs will favor especially 20-word length sentences. And so what we want to do here is break that in the text, as I said. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to add sometimes some sentences together, or we're just going to remove some of them. For example, we can add a very long sentence here. So for example, whereas normal industrial robots work behind, collaborative robots are specifically made to work alongside people. So we have a long sentence. We want especially very short and very long sentence. So for example, here we can have a short one. So cobots are flexible good value for one thing. They are disrupting industry like manufacturing, healthcare, etc. Same here, this sentence, we can also break it. So companies look to increase productivity and as a consequence, as a result, are logically being implemented. And we can do that in all the text. I'm exaggerating sometimes a bit of the editing here. Of course, you won't do that like this in the whole text, but it's just to show you. But yeah, you can do more or less the same thing in the rest of your text. You can add things like bullet points also. Maybe we just vary the structure, break some of the sentences in many parts. And as you can see now, if I put the edited text with now the burstiness editing, you will have now 20% AI, so way more human now. We can also check originality AI, and also surprisingly, now with originality AI, we're also already having now 90% confident that it's a human. That's also a good score. So we made already some good progress with this editing. As you can see, yeah, it looks very much and sounds very much human. And now the fourth editing technique is also the strongest one, of course. And this one, we're gonna rely on the same techniques I show you with the last video about the prompts to bypass AI detectors I share with you. And so in this prompt, you have actually techniques to add stuff into the text to really break all of this pattern even more strongly. You have things like trying to add some colloquialism, so conversational elements, also some edging, trying to be more cautious in how you express yourself. Some are also transition words that are more natural, and all of this stuff that we're gonna try to add more into the text. So let's get into it. So in the recent years, collaborative robots have definitely appeared. So using, for example, adverbs, something that LMS doesn't do usually, to add also opinion. We can have things also like you might know that, so kind of conversational elements or kind of rhetorical questions. Instead, collaborative robots differentiate themselves by specifically working alongside people in shared workspaces. We're just trying to write like journalists would write about his subject. So really trying to add himself as an actor in his writing to really make the writing more personal and opinionated. Yeah, just adding some personal style and human touch in there. No wonder they are disrupting. For one thing, no wonder. We can even remove that actually. I don't think we need that here. Things like also, so what's the definition of a cobot? Well, collaborative robots are automated system. As you might recall, I said that traditional robots are usually large and unsafe, are all of the contrary. They are manufactured only actually and repetitive. You can have your own personal opinion also, so no fear of displacement with cobot. And we're gonna do that in the rest of the text just adding some of this stuff to make it sound like a personal essay. And yes, now I did that with all text. And as you can see now, there's just more opinion in the text. So for example here, factfully automation is easier for smaller factory plants, bringing a lot of relief to factory owners. So as you can see, I just try to take a point of view, a perspective on the subject that an LM wouldn't do. We'll just try to be cautious and be very formal in how it's just describing basic facts. And all of this just offers you also to add stuff into the text, and by that just remove a lot of the patterns. This rewriting is so good that we have almost 0% on 0 GPT, and that we almost passed the threshold on GPT-0, which is very well known to be a very strong detector with also a lot of false positives. So also detecting a lot of human text as AI. That's one problem of GPT-0. But since I made these changes, as you can see now, we have almost a human score. And so that will definitely pass for anyone as human for sure, because we just have a lot more personal style in there. And that's it. I've shown you these 4 techniques, editing techniques to humanize your text and make it look like 100% a human. I'll let you practice and apply concretely these techniques in your text and to see what's the result for you. If you want even better result than with these editing techniques, you have also to add your input before generating your text with the prompting. You can, for example, give your own draft or ideas or outline to the AI when you generate the text. You can give a sample of your style also before. This will already give some human patterns into the LM, and so you be sure that you have 0% a score of AI with like really the advanced detectors, even like GPT-0 and Pengram. That's what I would recommend you to do, especially if you also want to work and be rewarded in the process and feel that what you're writing is actually from your own. All right, and of course, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, to subscribe to the channel, or to leave a comment under the video if you have any question. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.